Lulav hagazel v'hayovish puzzle. So, lulav hagazel. Well, what's a lulav? Rashi, kaf shel tmor. Well, what's with everything else? Well, the Tony hadas varava b'apin avshai. Right now is lulav. Gazel. So what's wrong with gazel? Puzzle. L'kachtam lachem ksiv. The Torah says you should take lachem. Misha lachem. Lachem indicates that it has to be yours. Yavesh. What's wrong with a dry lulav? The be'inon mitzvah mihuderes. The ksiv v'anvei. Needs to be a nice mitzvah. Now, Rashi's source that needs to be a nice mitzvah is shver. Rashi brings a pasuk that's not talking about lulav. So while it's true that everything needs to be a nice mitzvah, but it shouldn't make the lulav puzzle. Alright. Next. Shel Asherah v'shel ir nidachas puzzle. What's an Asherah? Rashi, Ilan sha'ivdin yisei avodah zarah. They serve the tree. So what's the problem with that? Well, we want to have a farish time. Okay, if you want to know what it is, Rashi's going to tell you what it is. You want to know why it's no good, Rashi tells you, look in the Gemara for that. Also, shel ir nidachas. A city that most people live in, everyone's got to be killed, and all the property has to be destroyed. So what's the problem? Mishum del Sreifah is like Rashi. You got to burn all the Diksi Veskol Shlola Tikboit Salvachayv Shalir. This is past week's parsha. So you got to put all the booty and burn it up. So what's the problem? So you got to burn it. So what? So that makes it's not a kosher or a lulav. No. So like the Rashi, the lulav boy shir dalet tvachim kill come on. Lulav's got to be 4 tvachim tall. All right. So 4 tvachim tall. So what's the problem? We keep it the hide l'sreifa koi. So this guy's supposed to be burnt. Ein shiurei kaim the chesarv dami. It's as if it's burnt. Meaning its status conforms with its what it's supposed to be done with it. And therefore, legally, it's not 4 tvachim. Since legally it's supposed to be burnt, so legally it doesn't have the right size. Next, nektam reishai, nefritzual of puzzle. So, nektam reishai, so the tip got cut off. So what? Like the Rashi puzzle, why the light of Yehuda? It's not nice. Here, it's not other because it says in the Torah, I creates Hadar. We learn not only the Esrog has to be Hadar, everything got to be Hadar. So they got the head cut off. So it's not Hadar. Nifritzul olav. What does that mean? First of all, Meishedra. Ve'enem chborim. El al yedei aguda. So it's not attached to the spine of the lulav at all. It's just tied on. Kichupya, like a broom, they say. It's a lavadu. That's not that nice. Okay? So that's not good. Nifridu olav, kosher. If they only got separated, so that's alright. So what's that? Mechubarim in Hashem, verse like Rashi. They're attached at the spine. Ela shel ma'ila nifrodin lekan lekan. Ka'an fe'ilan. It looks like a regular tree, like they're just like all the leaves are going, just spreading out. So that's alright. Rabbi Yehuda Yagdenu milamala. He says that's not alright. You gotta tie it up. It should look nice. Rashi im nifredu olav. Rabbi Yehuda's talking about the case of if it's nifredu olav. So you gotta tie it up. You should go stand up straight with the spine. Kishat love like all other love. Tzine har barzel ksheris. What's this? The Farish B'Gemara, Tzine Dukolim. Ksheris, why they kosher? The lulav mishalam. The lulav of the Tzine har barzel are kosher. But Alpha, so what's the problem? Why would you think they're no good? Alright. But Alpha, P is like the Rashi. You would think, hey, Olam Shalem Katan Moed, they're very small leaves. They know the Marker Shalashedra, they don't go up at the whole spine of the lulav, so it shouldn't be good. No, it's kosher. Alright? Lulav sheyesh b'shleisha tvachim k'dei l'aneh by kosher. So, literally, read the Mishnah, it says a lulav that's got 3 tvachim, and these 3 tvachim are to shake, so it's kosher. But that's not what it means. Rashi, the Gemara explains that it doesn't mean like that. Rather, what does it mean? Gotta be 3 tfachim. The spine of the lulav has to be 3 tfachim, just as the length of the hadas. But the lulav's gotta have a tefach yoser. It's gotta have an extra tefach so you can shake it. The Beina Ninua, you gotta shake it. I know you gotta shake it. The Gemara says later on, why do you do that? Why do you pick it up and down and side to side? To stop Ruchis Roim, the bad winds with flowing rum and I think that's too much rain. Alright. Like the Gemara, Kapasi Vatai Leshna B'Yam Tev Rishon Leshna B'Yam Tev Sheni. The Mishnah just says it's no good. Yeah, it says that it's puzzle. Puzzle. Doesn't say when. Which would imply that it's puzzle all the time. It's alright, I understand. Other being it's gotta be nice. And it's not, so it'll make a difference. First day, second day, third day, whatever, Ela Gazel, Bishleim Yom Tov Rishon, I understand. No good, why not? Tiksiv Lechem Mishalachem, like Rash said, it gotta be yours. It says it's gotta be yours. Ela Yom Tov Sheni, Amayloi. What's the problem, Yom Tov Sheni? Okay, what's that mean? Dr. Rashi, Kapasik Rutani Pasal. Alright, let's start with the Rishon, the Chiyuv Midai, oh. Yeah, so the whole Gemara, like, what's it saying? What's the difference? First day, second day, third day, fourth day. So Rashi explains. The first day is Midai Rice. And afterwards, isn't there a bonum? Lo Yishtei Yom Tov Sheni, the last day is Yisrael Midai Rabbanon, the B'yam Rishon, so it says, Al Kachtam Lochem B'yam Rishon. Right, so Bishleim Yaveh Ish Pasal B'dir Rabbanon Namisi. If it's dry, so I understand that's possible. Even if the Chiyuv and the rest of the days of Sukkah is like B'dir Rabbanon, I understand. Given the mitzvah, Mishum Zeich the mitzvah. Why did Rabbanon say you gotta shake the lulav all the 6 days of Sukkot? Because there's Eichel HaMikdash. So it's gotta be the same lulav that they used in the Mikdash, which wasn't the dry lulav. They didn't use a dry lulav, they used a fresh lulav. But Gazel, what's the problem? Now, when that's obvious. I mean, in the first day, they didn't use a guzzle. So by the same logic, we should say, well, if we're doing a Zeichel Mikdash, it's got to be a non-guzzle. Right? I'm asking a question on the Gemara now. Yeah, you should use the same logic. But the Gemara says that it's got to be a fresh lulav because it's a Zeichel Mikdash. It's a Zeichel to the Mikdash the first day. It's a Zeichel to the Mikdash. But I didn't explain this one. Why is it a Zeichel Mikdash? Because in the base of Mikdash it says V'samach Toluf Le'eshav L'keichem Shabbos Yom. So that means you gotta in the base of Mikdash you have to it is midday Raisa to shake lulav and esrog all 7 days. After Churban Abayis, Chazal said, no one's going to do all 7 days, so we got to do a Zeicher, so we made a Zeicher in the Mikdash, that even after, or rather, even not in the base of Mikdash, we shake the lulav for 7 days. So, excluding Shabbos. So Rashi said, it's a Zeichel of Mikdash. In the Mikdash they use a lulav, a dry lulav, no. So now too we gotta use a dry lulav, but guzzle now, why should you need a guzzle? Right, the Gemara says. Why do you have to make sure it's not guzzle? And the base of Mikdash so that's the problem. I mean, like in the base of Mikdash, they also used non-stolen lulav. So why could you get away with that over here? So I think that when it comes to a Zeicher, it's enough to have something that's visually the same. If it's visually the same, on the face of things, put it that way, if on the face of things it's the same, it's alright. So that's enough to be a Zeicher. But, so it's gotta be fresh. It's dry, on the face of things it's not the same thing, it's not a good Zeicher. But if it was stolen, on the face of things it looks the same, that's good enough for a Zeicher. Anyway, so what's the Gemara's answer? Why on the second day of Sukkot does it have to be non-stolen? You know what the problem is? You stole your lulav. You came to the mitzvah through doing an aveir. That's no good. How do I know it's no good? So what? I did an aveir, I stole the lulav, now I do the mitzvah. What's the problem with the mitzvah? No, the Mishnah says it's not good. You did a mitzvah through doing an aveir, that's not good. It's possible. You didn't get the mitzvah even, It's not that you get a mitzvah and an aveir. The Mishnah says it's possible. That means you didn't get the mitzvah. Right? So why? How do I know why shouldn't you get the mitzvah? I mean, not a good idea to do that. That's the Gemara knew it wasn't a good idea to do. You do your mitzvah and aveir, so what'd you gain? How do you know that the mitzvah is worth more than the aveir? But alright, Al Kulpanim, the Mishnah says that you didn't even get the mitzvah. So how do you know that? So the pasuk is berating, the Navi is berating Klal Yisrael because they're bringing karbanos that are no good. They're bringing stolen karbanos, they're bringing karbanos that are balei mum. Piseach is animal without foot. B'chaylan, they're bringing sick animals. So we make like a drasha. Gazel dumi de piseach, like a hekish. The same what my piseach. Let's say the kati it doesn't have a foot. Doesn't have a foot. It's finished. Balmum, yeah. Prosaic wouldn't work, I guess. Yeah. Av gazel let's say takanta. So he stole the law. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, why nothing you can do about it? So a carbon, it's all dialysis. There's no carbon. So a carbon's got to be yours, but it's all dialysis. But so what are you going to do about it? But there's a solution. The Kekish is telling us there is no solution even after Yish. So Bishleim Lifnei Yish, I understand. You know why it's possible. A carbon that a stolen carbon before Yish is possible because it says Adam ki Yaakov michem amrachmano. It says you bring a carbon from your own stuff, and this guy is not yours. He stole it before Yish. And there's a man over that you can be kited with Yish. You stole it. It was Yish by them, and you can be kited. So you acquired it. So it's yours. So why does the pasuk? Why do we dash from the pasuk that there's no solution? If you stole a carbon, it can never become kosher l'mizbeach. Why? You acquire it after you shouldn't bring it as a carbon. What's the problem? So, vice does. So we prove from here. That's what that is coming to tell us. Even after you acquire it, but not nothing, because it's still going to be a mitzvah over there. You perform the mitzvah by way of being over the affair. Rashi. Shemar Reisim Gazel, the Ashkan Bra, the Pasik, the Isalavi Mitzvah Ba'aveir. Restricts you, it says that you can't do Mitzvah Ba'aveir, not going to be a good Mitzvah, B'chlal. There's never a solution. You're missing a foot. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a moment that's stiff. We learn from Piseach, there's no solution how to be makriv the gazel after, later on. It doesn't work. But feel be yish, even after the owners gives up to Shemina Lamari, what's the yish? Rashi here defines what's yish. How do you know that what's the yish that you could acquire it after yish? The Shemina Lamari heard that the owner said in Miyayish. Well, what did he say? Oi, lost it. It means that he's considering it lost. There's a man that holds you can acquire with Yish. The owner said, I lost it. Now the thief can acquire it. But having the day, it's yours. It's yours, but don't be marked with the Mizbech. Alright. So we have a shot over here. The Gemara is asking why on the second day it's stolen lulav is possible. On the first day it says right, but on the second day it should be kosher. It's like Gemara, can be a mitzvah b'aver? How are you able to be kind of mitzvah because you stole it? No, that's a mitzvah b'aver. V'amar Reb Yechon Mishum Reb Shimon ben Yochai, ma'adik sefin yeshem ha'yivir she'zayni gezel ba'olam. So it seems like Hashem's explaining, why don't I want you to bring me a korban oila from something that's stolen? That's what this pasuk seems to be saying. So, Kiani is explaining himself. Kiani Hashem, since I am Hashem, I love justice. I hate stolen korban oila. Oyev gazla, so Marshal. So right, so Mishum Bechon, Mishum Chavis explains the pasuk. Marshal machmas of dam, a king. He's passing by the customs. And pay tax. told the servants to pay tax. I'm allowed to the servant said, well, I call him. It all belongs to you, so why should we have to pay tax for it? That sounds good, right? Oh, well, no. Mimenu, you pay tax, all right? I know it's going back to me, but pay tax. Why? Everyone else should learn from me. Mimenu, you look all every day. Everyone who is passing by, all travelers should know, should learn from me. Don't try to skip taxes. Even the king pays taxes. I don't like this, no, really. Alright, so you're stealing, but you're bringing it back to Hashem. It's really Hashem's. So you're taking it, you're giving it to Hashem, right? You're still, somebody else's ownership is just, but Hashem is the real ownership, so. But no. Ani Hashem saying because many of them the other everyone should learn. Don't steal. It might Ami, aber Rabbi Ami, you always puzzle. They say not puzzle. We should have a mitzvah baba. So yeah, Rabbi also said it's possible because of mitzvah baba. Alright, so that's the Gemara. Gemara says, why is it puzzle? The Mishnah doesn't say when it's puzzle. Seems like it's puzzle all the time. If you say it's puzzle on the first day, it's puzzle on the puzzle second, puzzle later. If you just say it's puzzle, so it means all the time it's puzzle, right? Yeah. So the Gemara asks why, So Gemara answers mitzvah ba'avera. The Gemara talks a bit about mitzvah ba'avera, brings the source for it, and it brings the explanation for it, and it brings the Rabbi that also learned that way. And now we got another shot. Uplige der Bitzche. Der Bitzche Barach Meini. Amar Shmuel Leishon Yom Tov Rishon Yom Tov Sheni. Mitoich Sheitzi B'Shol Yeitzinan V'Gazol. He holds that the Mishnah, even though it said just plain it's puzzle, and didn't explain when it's puzzle, but it really only means Yom Tov Rishon, Ein Acharami. Yom Tov Sheni, Yom Tov Rishon is the problem, who says, Lechem Yishal Lechem, Lekachtem Lechem. Right? But Yom Tov Sheni, it's Taka Kasha. I guess you're supposed to figure it out by yourself, Learn a little Chumash, Chumash says, Lekachtem Lechem Yom Rishon. So why we take the little hand other days? Because Eichel Mikdash, it says, Smacham Feshem Gechem Shivit Yomim, so the Beis Hamikdash is doing it all 7 days. We all said there's Beis Hamikdash, and now there's no Beis Hamikdash anymore, so that's why Chazal must have made a takana that we should be taking everywhere else, also for 7 days. And for that, this is what you're supposed to figure out by yourself from the Mishnah. And for that, it's good enough. The Gazel is also good enough, right? Yavish is not good, but a Gazel is the same. Alright. She's saying he gets the boiler. Right. So Leishanu, Leishanu the Gazel puzzle. He says the Mishnah the way Yom Tov Rishon, but Yom Tov Sheni Mitoich Sheitzi B'Shol, the Yom Tov Leksev Lechem. That's for sure true. That a borrowed lulav you could definitely be Yeitzi Yom Tov Sheni. Everyone agrees to that. Doesn't say Lechem. Not a mitzvah b'avera. So you say it's no problem. Okay. See, he makes a different dictum from the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that what's possible? Stolen or dried. What about borrowed? Well, the implication would be that borrowed is kosher. Borrowed is better than stolen. No. So it says that it says that stolen is possible, mashma shal is kosher. So when is the Mishnah? Even if Yom Tov Rishon Aktuv Lechem, Mishal Lechem, by Davidev, it says that Yitan Mishal is kosher. So it can't be done Yom Tov Rishon. Yom Tov Rishon says Lechem. Got to be yours. Borrowed is not yours. It must be talking about Yom Tov Sheni. The Mishnah must be talking about Yom Tov Sheni, because the Mishnah implies that Shal is kosher. So the Meila interpretation is not chem, it's got to be yours. So Teretz says must be talking about Yom Tov Sheni, and the Mishnah says the Gazel is puzzle. You see, not like Yitzchak ben Nechmein. Amashmu. So Rav Amar to the test. Lo Yom Tov Rishon. Afaket. The Chiddush is the other way. We were saying no. The implication is, if it says that Gazel is possible, so the implication is that Shol is kosher. Like that, no. Shol is also possible. Why did it say Gazel? Because you would think that even if Shol is possible, but Gazel is maybe kosher. You would think the bigger Chiddush is, so the bigger Chiddush, the Maisa, is that Gazel is kosher. Not that Shol is kosher. That Gazel is possible, not that Shol is possible. So it says Gazel is possible, and obviously, that Shol must be possible as well. Let me buy Kamer. Let me buy Shol, Lavdi Day. Aval Gazel, Emastam Gzel Yesh Balmu, Chdi Dami, Kamash Malon. You'd think that we assume that after any Gzela, Gzela means you stole it, bald-faced, and you just grabbed it away from the guy's face, right? So, you assume that every time someone steals like that in front of the owner's face, that the owner gives up hope. Owner gives up hope, so then the thief can acquire it. So you would think, so it's not a problem of Lechem. Torah says it's got to be yours. Guess what? It's yours. Because you acquired it. Yesh Bailam, yeah. Kamala Shmona, no, it's not a problem. So he's saying, was told by Yom Tov Rishon because Gazel's tak only possible Yom Tov Rishon, like Yitzchak ben Nechmein Amar Shmuel. Why does it say Shal? Because Gazel is a big Chiddush. Gazel, there is a way to acquire it. And so maybe you would think that everyone they steal is automatic. We automatically assume Yush, and you can acquire it, and it's yours already, and it'll be kosher. Mashma not. Okay, so far. So far so good. So we have two pshatim in the Mishnah. Either the Mishnah is talking about all the time, and Yom Tov Sheni is pasach letzva, or the Mishnah is talking about Yom Tov Rishon and Einachanami, Yom Tov Sheni is kosher. Amar Avuna Lahanu Avankari. The peddlers, so Avuna told these peddlers, when you buy a hadassah from a goy, you shouldn't cut it. The goyim should cut the hadassah. And then they should give it to you. My time, what's the problem? Because the goyim, they stole the karka. Yeah, they steal karka. This is what they do. Yeah, the karka in an exelis. It doesn't work. It doesn't acquire a status of being stolen. Yeah, I mean, they performed an act of stealing it. They kicked the owners off the land. They told them to get lost. But it still belongs. It's not. It wasn't stolen. Yeah, there's a status of something that the item is stolen. Over here, we don't say that. It doesn't assume that status. We don't say that it becomes stolen. It still belongs to the original owners completely. Okay, why so? We see Baba Kabbalah and Baba Kama. So therefore, let's see what happens. If they cut it, if the peddlers cut it, the goyim cut it. So the goyim should cut it. You know why? Because then it's going to be good. Then the bailim, the yush, giving you a pop of the bailim is going to take effect right then and there. And it'll be a yush bailim in their hands. And it'll be shir rishus in your hands. It changes owners. Yush and shir rishus. And you acquired it. so then you can be yotze with it. If the goyim cut it, it's great. The Biala in the Irish already, as soon as it's cut off, the Biala gave up a long time ago, and it took effect. As soon as the goyim cut it off, and they gave it to the Jew, changes owner, changes hands, and something that had on the right to Yish Biala changed hands, so the new person acquires it. So whereas, so what's the problem on the other side? But so what's the problem? If the guy do it, it's good, all right. But I have a solution for it, even if the Jews cut it, even if the peddlers cut it. So if there's a vanka, the peddlers will cut it. They'll be used by him. They'll be used by the peddlers. Machinery shows we are done. The peddlers don't keep these hadas and they sell them. So it's going to be shinuri rishus when they sell them to the customer. That's a good solution for everyone else. But what about the peddlers? The peddlers also have to be Yetzer Mitzvah. You want the peddlers to be Yetzer Mitzvah, gotta be that they acquired it too, not that it was acquired by the next guy. So that's why you let the goyim pick it. Yish Biala takes effect by the goyim, and then when they sell it, to the peddlers acquire it with Yishin Rishus. Okay, now you might ask another few questions. V'lekninu b'shinu rishus, b'shinu ma'isa. What's the big deal? Let the peddlers acquire it with a shinu ma'isa. Why? Because you tie up the hadasim together with the lulav. It changes it's like a change of the form of the lulav. Of the hadasim, so you tie it up with that. So that's another way to acquire the stolen object. So you acquired it, so now it's you can be yotze, no problem with lakachtam lachem, and you should be yotze. So why do they need to make sure the guy let the guy cut it? I don't know, because you're not getting machine ma'isa. Ksav lulav ein tzarich heged. Kim tzarich lulav tzarich heged shini achayz l'briyaz, shini achayz l'briyaz l'sh meishim. So two pshatim why it's not a good shino. Because, so this is the show here. Do you need to tie up the lulav or don't you need to tie up the lulav? Now, if you need to tie it up, so that's a significant act. That you tied it up. You made it into a new type of thing, right? You made it into the type of thing that you could be able to lulav with. Whereas if you don't need to cut it up, so then the fact that you tied it up, so what do you do? So before it wasn't tied up, now it is tied up, and before you put it was on the table, now it's on the floor, Like what's the difference? So there's no difference. But if you need to tie it, so then it's very significant. Before it was something that you can't be Yetzer Mitzvah with, and now it's something you could be Yetzer Mitzvah with, it's a very significant difference. So the Gemara is saying, so you know why he told him that the guy should cut it, so the Avankari the peddlers could acquire it with Yishish and Rishus because they couldn't be going with Shinu Ma'isa, because it's insignificant, the fact that you tied it up to the lulav. I'll hold that the lulav needs it, b'chlal. Second shot is no. Even though he holds that you do need to tie it up, so it's a significant change, but something that changes back is not a you can't acquire with that. It's a significant change, all right, but you can't acquire that because you can just change it back, right? So it doesn't really count. So that's why he told them to make sure the goyim cut it with the Yishim Rishus, and don't be cut with Shina Ma'isa because no good Shina Ma'isa. So go ask another question. Like Lui B'Shini Hashem, Meikar Havali Asa V'Ashta Yishan. Shini Hashem, you change its name. When you tie it together with the lulav, so it's called the Hishana. That's how they used to have a different name. This is called an asa. A hadasa was called an asa before they tied it up with the lulav, and afterwards they called it a Hishana. So it should be coined with the Shini Hashem. That's another way of acquiring it. And it seems that That's not Chayzel B'Yad, it doesn't go back. Yeah. Even after you untie it, it still remains Aishan. This is like the word, no, that's an insignificant name change. Why? Because Mikor Namalas Aishan Nikor. That's a name they use even when it's an Asa, they also call it Aishan. Alright, that's Daf Lamed.